No other choice. That's what a business owner is saying tonight in Huntington Park after he had to close his store for good.
He was worried immigration raids would impact his business, he says, and they did, in fact. Luzelia Caballero, who is part of our immigration focus team, spoke with him about his difficult choice.
We are hurting, especially financially.
That was Abdul Frotan speaking to us a few months ago, worried that fear would affect finances and force him to shut the doors of his business, Supreme Deals. And today, that fear turned into his reality.
And you predicted this was going to happen. Months ago, you told me, Lustelia, if foot traffic continues to be this slow, I'm going to lose my business. And today, you're closing your doors.
Absolutely. As I predicted, inflation and especially is all what's going on with ICE.
He's feeling the weight of those that depend on him, but says he has no choice.
They're my family that depends on me. I feel bad about employees that I let go.
In a city made up of mostly Latino families, many of them undocumented, Frotan feels even routine errands have become a gamble.
Even the people that has paper, I think they're afraid of coming out. They go and stuck in 1 month.
What we see here is this guy right here had a shop in LA County in Huntington Park, which is a city in LA County. He's closing his business and he blamed it on ICE raids. This is what happens when you bad at business. You want to blame ICE. You want to blame President Trump. What we need in 2026 is people taking accountability for being a bad business person. And another thing that I talk about these ICE raids and I talk about why people care so much about immigrants, illegal immigrants, is because they care about them because they were able to exploit them. The reason why you see people pledging or pushing for illegal immigrants to stay here is because they can exploit them. You can exploit them with cheaper labor. You can exploit them by charging high prices on items where they're going to pay with cash. There's a lot of ways that these people are getting exploited. That's the only reason why people care that they're here. But at the end of the day, he lost his business because he's a bad business person. It's because you aren't good at business. It's because you were only tending to a market that you can exploit. Why else would you be in Huntington Park? Because you were able to exploit the Latinos that were there illegally. They only care about these illegal immigrants because they can exploit them. When are we going to figure that out? But now we have people saying the reason why I lost my business is because of ICE agents or ICE raids. It's either you're good at business or not. We got to stop blaming Trump. We got to stop blaming ICE. We got to stop blaming all these people for your failures. You failed because you failed. If my business closed today, what I'm going to say? I'm going to blame ICE? No, I'm going to say, you know what? I just didn't do good at business. People are so quick to point the finger, but they never point it to themselves first. You couldn't exploit these people anymore. People aren't shopping at your store giving you cash to where you don't have to report it. So now you have to close up shop and go somewhere else where you can exploit people in that demographic. Why else would you have a store there in Huntington Park? Because you're probably selling cheap products for high prices and you were only accepting cash. I know the gig. I'm from LA. I live in LA. I see it all the time. We know what it is. There's a lot of these businesses closing. It's because they can no longer exploit these people anymore. Think about it. Well, Marcus, what do you mean? How can they exploit the labor? Some of these people that come from Mexico were only getting paid $10 a day. They were only getting paid $10 a day. So they come to America, and let's say the average per day is $200 per day. Somebody like this person will hire a legal and say, I'll pay you $75 underneath the table every day, but it'll be underneath the table only cash. So that person that comes over here is ecstatic. I made $75. He's ecstatic because he only has to pay $75. Everybody wins, except for the government, except for the people that deserve to get that job that are here legally. Capitalism, right? This is another form of capitalism that they don't talk about. They say capitalism is bad. Oh, this. No. This is another form of capitalism that they don't talk about. Get people for cheap, exploit them, make them work crazy hours. They can't tell on you because they're illegal. So you're exploiting them and you're making all of the money. This is a game that they've been playing a long time, especially here in California. This is the reason why they want these illegal immigrants here is because they want them to be exploited and they want their vote. So these illegal people are getting exploited all angles. But we have people like him saying, I closed my business because of ICE raids. No, you close your business because you can no longer exploit people. Because you can still have that business open and hire Americans with papers, but you refuse to do that.
Who's going to feed their kids?
Huntington Park Council member Jonathan Sanabria says the effects of these federal immigration operations are hard to ignore.
I think the reality is this: while people can blame the shift in commerce for the foot traffic, what ICE has done has made foot traffic just completely disappear.
And while at least one business owner on Pacific Boulevard tells us immigration raids have not drastically impacted their business, Sanabria says this is not the case for the majority of small businesses in the city.
There are certain shops that are specifically for Latinos, specifically that tie into the countries that they fled. So a lot of these stores that are affected are going to be those stores.
Those are going to go in the box and shelves will be out today.
Exactly. The stores that are closing are targeting these Latinos that come over the border and are illegal. Those are the ones that's closing. Is the ones that's actively targeting and selling the things that they want and then selling it to them and only them and not being diverse in their products. They only want them. Why are they only selling their products? Because they can exploit them. They could charge higher prices. They could only accept cash. These are the people that won't tell on you on what you're doing. So what we see is a lot of the crook businesses are closing because there's other businesses that's still staying open, but they're diverse. They're doing it the right way. They're not exploiting their customer base. That's what this comes down to. This is a person that's exploiting his customer base. So now he's blaming ICE raids, but you were willing to work with them because you were able to exploit them. We're not stupid now. There's businesses that's still open to this day. There's a lot of businesses that's not worried about ICE raids. So if you worry about ICE raids, what does that tell me about your business? You're doing something there illegally. You're messing with the wrong people. You're not taking accountability. You have sky-high prices, but you're only targeting a certain demographic. We're not stupid.
And Frotan tells us his store is one of them.
I'm running out of business, and a lot of stores, as you see, every 3-4 stores, there's one closed and says for rent. I have no idea what am I going to do.
What he does know,
I hope it gets better.
This is what we're selling. You saying you can't keep your business up, but look at what you're selling. Who wants that? Who wants that? How about you just say, I'm just not good at business? Why don't you just say that?
I hope I'm able to open a business somewhere else or in here.
Business owners and city leaders alike say Huntington Park is built on immigrant labor and small businesses, and they worry that if this continues, the city could lose more than customers. It could lose the heart of its community. In Huntington Park.
What we see is a lot of people blaming Trump, ICE on their failures. They're blaming people that they've been exposed to exploiting illegal immigrants and making money off of illegal immigrants. And now they want to go to the news, the liberal news stations, and say, I've been exploited. Take accountability for your actions. The reason why you fail is because the jig is up. You can no longer exploit these people. These people will no longer be here. You have to have a real business that works with all races. That's all it is. That's all it is. Maybe there'll be more diversity in Huntington Park. Never know. But we know what this is. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, keep this thing right, keep it going. Make sure you join the Go Getter Patreon. Link is in the description below. Also, check out the No Filter Morning Show Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. But I appreciate you guys. I'm out.